What's going on, Phantom Force and Cosmogs fans alike? This is Phantom Base coming at you with a quick little thing I have here. First off, as you'll notice, this is a nice little league match. Second off, it's a recording, something we haven't done in forever. Now I know what you're thinking. Wow, you're recording. You must be desperate for something. No, actually, I thankfully was allowed to take over a team for. I was allowed to take over a team for the CPC D League, which is super cool. North Vader was promoted to majors after after another coach left, so I took over his spot in minors. And as you can clearly see, this is not a team we would use normally. Not even close. But I very quickly am going to go over the team that I have here, and I actually will show you and show down here really quick. Since I have the window up, I can go ahead and show it to you. Assuming it will reconnect like I need it to. But yeah, this is super fun. I say this is super fun. This is a competitive league. From what I understand anyway. I'm super hyped to be in it. And yeah, looking over our team matchup actually. First off, I can go ahead and tell you right now that the team matchup we had was pitiful. Our team was not very good compared to this person's team. Our opponent was Volume, the coach of the Arizona Dactyls, and he has Z Celesteela, Starmie, Dugtrio, Mega Absol, Shaman, Curum, Aromatisse, Darmanitan, Hitmonlee, and Electabuzz on his roster. Whereas we were rocking Landorus Incarnate, Sheer Force, by the way, Tapu Bulu, Toxapex, Mienshao, Bronzong, Espeon, Sneasel, Cofagrigus, Golbat, Audino, and Mega Ampharos. As you can clearly see, that is not a team I'm comfortable with, in the slightest. So, to kind of go over this team a little bit, I want to kind of preface this by saying I had to prep with what I had, and luckily I was able to make some transactions so that next week when we face Scoot and the Black Mountain Cougars, we will be able to have a solid, a little more solid matchup. But anywho, going into that, we brought our Mega Ampharos, Kirito the Mega Ampharos, a fully physically defensive Mega Ampharos this week. As you can clearly see here, we are literally almost max HP, max defense, bold nature. For the reason being is that this is one of our only switch-ins currently to Darmanitan. Which really sucks because Darm is a huge problem to my team. But this thing comfortably chews 2 Flare Blitzes easily and 2 kills with Dragon Pulse. The only problem being is that, first off, thankfully he cannot burn us with Flare Blitz, but the problem is that I anticipate either a Scarf or a Banded set, so he will be choice locked one way or another. Banded is a roll to 2-hit kill us. We will 2-hit kill every time with Dragon Pulse, though. And we can, and the main reason I bring Thunder Wave is because he has a Mega Absol, and with a our Mold Breaker ability, if we can slow that thing down, that'll really pave the way for things like Landorus Incarnate to come in and clean up, as well as my Mienshao, which I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, that's the biggest reason for this Mega Ampharos is to wall most of his physical threats, mostly things like I said, like his Celesteela, it walls Celesteela, even if it's a special set, it walls Darmanitan, it walls Hitmonlee, walls Electabuzz for days. It somewhat comfortably takes a hit from Mega Absol. It's a roll to 2-hit kill with Play Rough. Dugtrio 2-hit kills with Earthquake still, which is really frustrating. And we also somewhat wall Shaman. I say that very loosely. If he's an offensive Shaman, we're in trouble as far as that's concerned. Aromatisse still poops on us, so we can Volt Switch out on that thing, so we do outspeed it naturally. But yes, for the mons that this thing does not cover, that's what our Cofagrigus is for. This is our Cobra Berry Cofagrigus with Skill Swap, Will-O-Wisp, Hex, and Hidden Power Fighting. And the fun part with this thing is this is actually a decent answer to Mega Absol. What I plan to do with this thing here is that kind of bait it to go for a knockoff. So we have a Cobra Berry here. We click Skill Swap. Then we click Will-O-Wisp. So we can burn the thing. He can't taunt us. He can't do anything to us. And then we can proceed to 2-hit kill with Hidden Power Fighting if he doesn't have much bulk investment. This thing also deals fairly well against Dugtrio. Can't be trapped by it. It allows us to take away Sheer Force from Darmanitan. It allows us to comfortably deal with Hitmonlee, even if as knockoff. And we get rid of its Unburden or its Reckless or whatever have you. This thing is very solid versus his team overall. The only problem it really has trouble dealing with is Aromatisse on the whole, as well as a special Mega Absol actually, which could be a bit of a problem, which is kind of a reason for a couple of my other mods here. Now, next up we have our Shield Force Life Orb Landers Incarnate. We're nearly max speed. We're creeping Shaman so that we can potentially 2-hit kill with Sludge Wave, because Shield Force plus Life Orb equals massive damage. We also in turn outspeeding Curum. We're outspeeding everything under base 100, and so we're rocking Earth Power and Sludge Waves. That is literally the only coverage we need to 2-hit kill almost everything on his team. And we're putting Gravity here so that we can hit Celesteela, which is a huge problem to my team if I don't bring Gravity Landorus. And so yeah, that thing could have become a huge problem if I didn't deal with it properly. And yeah, Rock Polish is so that we can potentially set up on things like Aromatisse. Even if it's not Trick Room, we can set up on things like Shaman, or even Dugtrio, honestly. Like, Dugtrio doesn't really want to deal with Landorus. Now, next up, we do have a Scarf Tapu Bulu as a backup check to things like Dugtrio, to things like a Runaway Starmie, which sounds funny, but Scarf Starmie is a problem for my team, honestly. Scarf Tapu Bulu does outspeed most things on his team. We do one-shot the Mega Absol with Superpower. We two-shot Curum with Stone Edge. We one-shot Darmanitan with Stone Edge, if I recall correctly. And we put Nature's Madness on here specifically for the Celesteela switch-in, which is super obvious. So that was my main reasoning for putting Nature's Madness on there over any other coverage move, because we need to be able to hit the Celesteela and do a decent amount of damage to it. So with that, that's pretty much our Tapu Bulu set. We are adamant max speed, because actually at max speed we literally outspeed, with our Scarf, we outspeed his fastest mom, which is Dugtrio, after the Scarf boost, which is really nice. And so we didn't need any other spread investment or anything there. It was just adamant max attack, max speed, because that actually does allow us to creep Dugtrio. Now, next up, we have a nice different set for our Hell's Bells of Bronzong, which is rocking a split defensive set, but more especially defensive. And the reasoning for this thing is because, one, Gyro Ball 2-hit kills, if not Oko's, a lot of things on his team. Hitmonlee gets one-shot by Gyro Ball, guaranteed. Earthquake 2-hit kills Electric Buzz, even if it's in a Violite. Gyro Ball 2-hit kills Curum. Gyro Ball is, if it's an offensive Shaman, it's a roll to 2-hit kill that. And yeah, we're rocking. It also 2-hit kills Mega Absol. It's a roll of one-shot Mega Absol. And granted, this thing, originally I had Gravity, and originally I had Gravity on Bronzong to kind of double with Gravity on Landorus, but I thought that because the double Gravity spam was kind of useless, because if we're going to get walled by Celesteela, we might as well go and have a decent way to switch out and use it to set up rocks. And we have Cofagrigus here to stop Hitmonlee from spinning. And if we foresee the Absol coming in, we can just click Gyro Ball. That's no problem, really. This thing comfortably takes any hit from anything. It lives a Timid Life Orb Hydro Pump. It lives 2 Timid Life Orb Hydro Pumps from Starmie, so we can potentially get... and so that was kind of our best special offensive way to deal with things. Shaman can't touch us, period. I think the max Elite Seed Flare does is like 19%. Darmanitan is the only thing that can one-shot us, which is really depressing. But Curum can't touch us because we are Levitate, and this is only regular Curum. And the best thing it can do is go maybe for Shadow Ball, which still doesn't 2-hit kill us. Mega Absol is the only thing that can hit us really hard on the physical side, and even then that can't kill us, and we can potentially one-shot with Gyro Ball. Now, our last Pokemon was originally Banded Mienshao, but after doing a mock with my good friend Jacob, I decided to run with the Fist Plate, because that way I could switch up moves potentially and still get the damage I needed. High Jump Kick is still a 2-hit kill on an offensive Celesteela. U-Turn does a crap ton of damage to Absol and Starmie and Shaman. Poison Jab's a crap ton of Shaman and Aromatisse. High Jump Kick is a roll to one-shot Darmanitan, but it's not defensive. Drain Punch is just nice to kind of pull back some HP from things like Mega Absol and Curum and things like that if I don't want to risk them running Protect. And yeah, the fist plate helps me bluff a potential choice item like a band, which I was kind of hoping for. So yeah, that's kind of the game plan for this team is to kind of get in, get some rocks up, because he has very little hazard removal. His only hazard removal is really Starmie and Hitmonlee, and those are walled kind of well by Cofagrigus, and we can prevent the spin there since he has no defog. And we kind of just want to cripple the Mega Absol, kind of whittle down his team overall. And the main reason I brought Magnet Rise was so I could potentially go for Magnet Rise on a switch in Dugtrio. And that way he couldn't just straight up attack me and I go for Dragon Pulse and potentially kill it. If he's not Sash, which I expect it to be. And yeah, overall, it's kind of what our team is for. Bulu could potentially clean up, Landers could potentially clean up, and Mienshao all could potentially clean up. So with that, we're going to go into the battle now. And as you see here, he does bring Starmie as his spinner, which is kind of okay with me. He also brings Dugtrio, which I was like, alright, he's going to have some trapping mechanisms. Good thing is I have literally every Mon has a way to get out, if not to kill Dugtrio. So, we're going to start off kind of slow here, and we're going to leave with our Ampharos team matchup, because I expected him to leave with Darmanitan. Every mock I'd ever did told me that he was going to leave with Darmanitan. And that way, he could either go for U-turn, telling me that he's choice, or because as you'll see here in a second, he is not Life Orb because he doesn't show Life Orb recoil. So he's either choice Banded or choice Scarfed. And I can safely go for either a Magnet Rise or I can go for Thunder Wave or whatever have you. And if I expect him to go in Dugtrio, the biggest reason why I stayed in here is I think I went for a Magnet Rise here first turn, so in case he went into Dugtrio, and I think that's what he does. He goes straight into Dugtrio, and so I clicked Dragon Pulse and brought him down to his Sash, which is kind of cool. Now I made a questionable play here and went for Magnet Rise, but I didn't want him to get a potential second hit on me with anything else, so I let him set up rocks, which is funny, but I killed him off with Dragon Pulse. Turn 2, so Dugtrio is down, a big annoying Mon for me out of the way. Now, here he brings in Mega Absol, and I was like, hey, this is screaming he has Play Rough. I was like, but I don't really have anything I want to switch into that, because I don't want him to potentially predict me and go for either Pursuit and kill me, or go into my Bronzong to take the Play Rough, and he goes for a Knockoff, which is horrible. Because Knockoff would have killed me from this range anyway, I think. So, he does go straight for the Play Rough, and I sack off my Ampharos here, because I'm like, you know what, as much as I'd love to use it to wall Celesteela, I've got other things. So we go to Tapu Bulu, we scream our Scarf because I have to, and I predict the Celesteela switch in here, go for Nature's Madness, which was a really good play on my part, because there comes in the Celesteela. And so next up, I expect him to go for Heavy Slam, and I go straight into Bronzong, because, or he goes for Flamethrower actually, it's kind of okay, I guess, because we do get some nice leftovers recovery, and we set up our rocks, because I was like, you know what, this thing isn't doing much else. That's all I really wanted out of Bronzong was to get rocks up. But later I realized that Bronzong could have dealt me well with his Kyurem, so sacking this thing off here was actually a really bad play on my part. I don't know why I did that. Now, granted, this next turn was even more questionable, but I went into my Mienshao here, and I clicked High Jump Kick, and we did a clean 73% to Celesteela, telling me it's offensive, which is definitely confirmed by the fact that he got the special attack boost, and the fact that he's running all these nice and fun special moves. Now, we go into Tapu Bulu here because I want to scare him out or go for Stone Edge and kill him, which is what we did. So we lock ourselves in a Stone Edge because nothing else really wants to switch into this thing. Like, his best switching is Darm, but I'm like, this is screaming that he's Scarfed at this point, the way he brought it in. Now, I don't know later if he was, because you find out later that his Kyurem is Scarfed. So I'm like, I don't know if he either brought double Scarfers or what, but I didn't want to run the risk of him potentially smacking me with Flare Blitz. So I went straight into my Cofagrigus to take the hit, see what he was doing. He goes for U-turn, which kind of tells me that he is definitely not banded. So I think that he is either a Charcoal or a choice Scarf set. And so he goes into his Absol here, and I bait the knockoff here really bad, and go for a skill swap as he goes for his knockoff. We chew that knockoff. Actually, I don't go for a skill swap. I think I go straight for the Will-O-Wisp, expecting him to go for knockoff, which was great on my part because I really needed that. That was crucial damage. And okay, so next up, he goes for a Swords Dance. I'm like, okay, that puts him back up to neutral. Even a +2 burn knockoff, it's essentially a neutral knockoff, isn't going to be killing me. So we can go for Hit Power Fighting, And we clean 2-hit kill this thing. I mean, we clean 2-hit kill this thing. So I'm like, you know what, let's go for another hidden power fighting. Because the burn is keeping him in range of another hidden power fighting, guaranteed. Even if that was a max roll, this is him guaranteed in range of hidden power fighting. So, I expect him to go for a knockoff now. And we can live, except for a critical hit. Which is what happened. So, we get crit, which really sucks. But we're going to go into our Tapu Bulu now to take him out with a Stone Edge, potentially kind of whittle this team down a little bit. And this is where I was really regretting not going out to Landorus straight up. But I expected him to have Ice Beam, so it really wasn't going to be my best play overall. So staying in, going for Stone Edge, knocking him out was kind of the best way I could deal with this thing. Now it does here go into his Kyurem, which reveals to me that he is Scarfed, so I can easily assume that we just lost the game here. Because I did not preserve my Bronzong well, which is really sad. And also, like I said, this team is not exactly something I'm completely used to yet. We do go into our Robin Williams here to confirm that he is Scarfed, and we drop. And that is going to be the game. But luckily for us, we do have quite a few more weeks left. So I'm hoping that we can make a bounce back here, and hopefully you guys will have enjoyed this match. And yeah, if that's all it's been from me, this has been Phantom Base. We will catch you guys later with a nice little recap of our swaps. Bye, guys.